What is Spider-Man's top web-swinging speed in Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4? God, one good thing happens to me and then another bad thing happens. I got sick, kinda, yay! But welcome to the Chamber of the Wraith for a very special prelude of a returning series known as the Ability Almanac. My name is Brian, and over the next 3 days, we're going to be overseeing every character in the Mortal Kombat 11 beta, their abilities, and their frame data for set abilities. I won't be covering frame data for full-on moves. That might be saved for a special finale where it's like, here, just an hour of frame data, which depending on when I get around to doing that, it can be good, it can be bad. I'll probably not end up doing it, so I'll just focus on the abilities here. Now, one thing to keep in mind, remember, this is an online beta. Technically, this is essentially a 2-week-old build because this is just an augmented version of the online stress test. So, what that implies is there's going to be frame data errors. Things could be wrong listed, things could be missing. Some moves don't have frame data yet. And, of course, things could change. Certain things that may have been seen as broken or needed tweaking will get tweaked, and as a result, things could be seen as early, which they are. The cat can attest to that. But let's dive right into our first character, and my personal favorite character from the beta, Baraka.
Rule of Outworld was to be shared.
Kitana Khan would have us surrender it.
She seeks only compromise.
This first loadout I gave Baraka focused on a lot of his stabby bits, and it's actually basically his default loadout just renamed to Stab Hat because I like jokes. The Straight Shank and Low Shank are enhanced versions of certain crouching normals, and his Sinister Shank is basically is supposed to be a better version of his Jump 1, but you can't combo off of it, so it's better to be used as a check. Baraka Zerker is basically Baraka's answer to Goro's Punch Walk from MKX, but he uses his blades, it's a little bit safer, and with Blade Charge equipped, you can actually meter burn it in order to get more damage, though. Don't throw it out willy-nilly because it is still unsafe enough to be punched by a quick jab. And Blade Charge is about what you would expect. A quick, rushing attack that does damage, and you can choose to put them forward or behind you. Now it's time for the frame data on this loadout, which, by the way, just as a heads up, Baraka Zerker has absolutely no frame data whatsoever. So, I first noticed that, but bear that in mind. Once we get to Baraka Zerker, you can skip just a little bit ahead and we'll already be at our next loadout, which is also going to be quite fun.
Can you prove you're one of us? You'll know from the taste of my blades. Spoken like a true Tarkatan.
Baraka's War Banner is an interesting buff that leaves Baraka able to have a 20% damage buff as long as it's out. War Banner Bash replaces the standard War Banner drop and weaponizes it. And Staked can be equipped with or without War Banner Bash to give you a 21% damaging low, but it does use up the flag in the process. War Banner Charge is very interesting. Not only does it conflict with Baraka Zerker, meaning you can't have both of the moves equipped at the same time, but it's an armored rushing mid that weaponizes the flag too. But if you miss, you're left wide open, and if it's either blocked, which leaves you a little bit unsafe, or miss, you drop the flag. But if you hit the opponent with this move, your flag charger, your flag timer, resets, allowing you to keep up your 20% damage buff. Also, like Baraka Zerker, Warbanner Charge does not have any frame data, and I believe the cancel is either impossible to do or very difficult to do at the current moment, as I was unable to get the Warbanner Charge cancel to come out. Time to move on to the next loadout.
Hook swords versus arm blades, huh?
Leave or they will taste your flesh.
Melodramatic much, Baraka?
Replacing the Chop Chop is the pseudo-launcher Spine Burst. Spine Burst can launch in the corner and if the opponent jumps, but the frame data on the ground is so tight that it's almost impossible to get a proper link. Blood Lunge, however, is a very interesting attack. You cannot equip this with the Blade Charge, and it cannot be comboed into. However, it is a true throw. Albeit high, you cannot block Blood Lunge, leaving you open to getting stabbed in the sides and potentially getting a flag stabbed right through your face. Yes, this move has a brutality, and it is actually quite fantastic. That's the short and sweet of it, because Blood Lunge is a 2-slot ability, the only one in this build that Baraka has. Time to move on to the next loadout.
Tarkatan warriors are legendary.
Then why don't you flee, Earthrealmer?
The Shirai Ryu embrace danger.
This is the first of 2 loadouts I fully customized. Unfortunately, Baraka doesn't exactly have a lot of abilities outside of the ones that I've already shown, so there's only one main highlight here. Leg Kebab. This cannot be equipped at the same time as another move known as the legendary Gutted, but we'll talk about that later. Leg Kebab applies a small amount of DOT and acts as a low option to complement Baraka's overhead presence, the back 2, the back 3-1-2, and so on. It does do a little bit of DOT, but it's practically unnoticeable. There is also a brutality that you can do with this that makes Cabal, well, he's not running anytime soon. And of course, here's the frame data for the move in question. Time to move on to the final loadout, which again only has one new move, but it's a damn good one.
Rule of Outworld was to be shared.
Kitana Khan would have us surrender it.
She seeks only compromise.
Round 1, fight.
Now, I did say that Blood Lunge was the only 2-slot ability that Baraka had, but that's not true. Gutted is also a 2-slotted move, but it's a really good one. This pseudo command grab allows Baraka to launch with meter, and if he does not utilize the launch, it does DOT and it can crushing blow. That was almost 47%, and I got it on the first attempt. And some people can get 50% plus, so you'll be seeing a lot of Barakas using this in order to get big damage, because who doesn't want big damage with this guy, especially with the very good DOT that it actually has in most instances, as opposed to the Leg Kebab, which is a move that conflicts with Gutted normally. Now here's the frame data for the last time. Thank you for watching this video. In a little while, we're actually going to be looking at Jade, because we're doubling up today. And as always, don't forget to be awesome.